Thank you everyone for joining us here at Flowserve. My name is Brian Berardi. I am based out of Houston, Texas as a sales specialist for hydraulic decoking systems, and along with my counterpart Jim Balanza out of Chicago, cover all of North America. We have a global presence to support all of our decoking customers, and I will share those contacts to you at the end of the presentation, or you may visit our virtual booth to find out the contact person who can support you in your region. Flowserve has a deep history in hydraulic decoking dating back to 1938, where through our Heritage Worthington brand, supplied the equipment for the world's first decoking process at Shell's Wood River refinery. We will go over our participation in the delayed coker unit here, but keep in mind that we also participate in the sulfur recovery unit, hydrocracking unit, and the resid hydrotreater with our ebulated bed reactor pump. If you would like further information on these applications, please feel free to submit an inquiry at the virtual booth as well. I will now guide you through all the components in the hydraulic decoking system that Flowserve offers. The decoking process is managed at the cutting operator's console and control systems panel located in the operator shelter, either on the deck, safely away at grade level, or possibly in the plant's control room. From here, they have full control over the cutting cycle. To begin, the operator will verify that the unheading valves, isolation valves, bleed valve, and decoking control valve are lined up for the assigned cutting cycle. Once all systems are verified nominal, the operator will activate the winch and gently raise the cutting assembly enough so that the latching mechanism may be energized, allowing the cutting assembly to be lowered and pass through its park position so the cutting tool can be guided down into the coke drum by the guide plate and tool enclosure. The tool enclosure helps ensure that the coke material from a blowout is diverted or kept in the drum and off the cutting deck. From there, an outage measurement can be recorded and the cutting tool positioned to an optimal depth to begin the pilot cut. The operator will now begin energizing the jet pump train, beginning with the lube oil system, followed by the jet pump shortly afterward. Once the jet pump has normalized and bypassed flow position, pre-fill may be selected, and the decoking control valve will allow water to flow to and fill the cutting assembly, which includes the decoking hose, rotary joint, drill stem, and cutting tool. Once the cutting assembly has been purged of air, the rotary joint may start rotation, and the decoking control valve selected to full flow to begin the pilot or boring cycle. During this time, the operator can monitor the progress, linear speed, and position of the cutting tool from proximity probes counting revolutions in the lead block of the pulley block set or the running line tensiometer. A load cell tensiometer can give wire rope tension and trip the winch during a high tension or slack cable alarm. In the event the winch wire rope was to break, the free fall arrestment system will activate. During a free fall event, the cable gripping crosshead will grip on static wire ropes and shock will be dampened from the arrestor springs at the top of the cutting tower. Conversely, a wheeled crosshead's rail grip will lock the crosshead against the guide rails to ensure no further damage of the cutting assembly equipment. As the cutting assembly approaches the bottom of the drum to break out of the pilot cut, the operator will use the audio-video drum monitoring system to listen and visually see the breakthrough at the bottom of the head. When the pilot or boring cut has been complete, the decoking control valve will be switched to bypass to then cycle the cutting tool to cutting mode to begin the drum cleaning and clearing and cleaning process. To ensure a clean drum, the operator monitors the display via the drum vibration monitoring system, as well as the addition of modular automation systems. The cutting process can be done with minimal operator interaction. A couple key advancements we'd like to share with you are centered around the decoking control valve, DCV for short, and an optimized offering with our WIK jet pump. We'll first start with our DCV sliding seal cartridge. The sliding seal cartridge for the Pacific Heritage DCV was designed for both improvement of seal life reliability and ease of repair. The sealing method has changed from the standard top and bottom seats where originally the piston sealed on its ends. We now have introduced dual wiper seals at both the top and bottom portions of the valve where the sealing surfaces are cleaner to maintain high reliability and including a second seal at each for increased redundancy. Moving to this sealing design allows for the reduction of repair time from removing and repairing the seat area in the bottom of the valve body, and being able to create a cartridge trim assembly that can be easily removed and installed into a valve body in situ, reducing a plant's exposure to unforeseen outage or reduction in rate temporarily. The seal design and cartridge adaptation change were to also maintain the major components of the valve, such as the valve body and the actuator. To give some performance insight, the first iteration was field tested for 2 years at a U.S. West Coast refinery, where the control valve was a constant bad actor whose conditions were in the range of 4,200 pounds per square inch or 290 bar for the discharge pressure, and was flowing at approximately 1,200 gallons per minute or 270 cubic meters per hour. After the 2-year run at our request, the refiner pulled the valve for our review of the cartridge and sealing components, and we found that they were in good working order with ample life left. A major advancement for our WIK barrel pump is the optimized direct drive pump train. This advancement is to give our customers a direct drive jet pump solution. Doing so, this eliminates the gearbox, and therefore our customers may take advantage of smaller lube oil systems, reduction in instrumentation, piping, coupling, and base plate size, as well as removing pieces of equipment to align the pump train. This results gives the customer an improved operational cost of their coking system. The elimination of the gearbox is not only an advancement in this jet pump train we'd like to mention. The casing to start is a foot-mounted construction with integral flanges to allow variable spool ratings, and like our standard WIK, features a cartridge design which also has a heatless coupling removal. Feel free to inquire more on this pump train at our virtual booth. Within the next decade, more refiners are looking to automate more processes in the refinery. Flowserve can help in this endeavor at the coker unit. Through our remote and automated decoking technology, we can help our customers with consistent and reliable decoking at their sites. The buildup of a remote automated decoking system can be done in phases to meet time and budgetary constraints. We will now take a look at what is required to make a remote cutting system, and then further taking it to an automated or operator-supervised cutting system. First, we look at the challenges we must consider in decoking process, such as low visibility, noise variations, or lack of sounds altogether. Safety considerations, which include high temperature and pressure of liquids and gases, as well as the combustibility risks associated with those liquids and gases. In the end, the goal is to eliminate these challenges through remote cutting, increased operator efficiency by quantifying drum cleanliness, and enhancing operator awareness. Second, we need to identify the equipment required to be fully remote or automated. To begin this process, we'll need an auto shift cutting tool, all field components to be controlled through our PLC, a drum monitoring system, and an HMI at the operator panel and central control room. To get to this point in steps, as I mentioned earlier, we can add components in phases if they are not already partially installed in your decoking unit. We call this modular automation, which has predefined modules complete with instrumentation for ease of installation and future expansion. These modules are an HMI base panel module, vibration and audio module, tension module, counter module for tool position and speed for both winch and rotary joint. All of the instruments provided are area rated to Class 1 Div 2 groups, as well as ATEX. The base panel is area rated with NEMA 4X or IP66 enclosure for wall mounting. The area ratings indicated here are the standard options available. We can provide additional certifications on a job-by-job basis, and any optional HMIs are area rated as well, suitable for wall mounting near the winch controls. Information sent directly to the HMI for operator support is also suitable for future communication to the PLC when the remote or automation upgrade is requested. When a site decides to go automated decoking, there are operations that are strongly recommended to remain manual. These operations include starting and stopping of the lube oil system, starting and stopping of the jet pump train, starting and stopping of the hydraulic power unit if required, selection of the coke drum for decoking from the HMI panel, unheading of the coke drums, and initiation of the automatic sequence from the HMI panel. In the case that the unheading valves are incorporated into the Flowserve control system, this operation can be integrated into the automation sequence. Once initiated for an automatic sequence, the Flowserve decoking control system will perform all necessary steps for controlling all cutting water valves, which include the isolation valves, bleed valve, and decoking control valve. The system will also control all cutting equipment, such as the winch and rotary joint. Once a drum has been fully cut and cleaned, the system will park the cutting equipment and return all valves to the necessary state for the operator to then finish the shutdown cycle of the cutting operation sequence. Complementary equipment. There are some pieces of equipment in the decoking system and coker in general that we feel extra light to be shined upon. To briefly identify these pieces of equipment, I'd like to first start with our Lawrence Heritage VPL 3600, which is a vertical line shaft pump for slurry service with constant flush shaft bearings and a sparger system for incredible reliability that's suitable for clear water and maize pit pump applications. The second piece worth noting is our Flowserve HED DS or DSTHF for our predominant API BB2 choices for heater charge services. And lastly, we have the decoking. The Flowserve Argus HK valve is a trunnion ball severe service valve that's ideal for decoking, bleed, and cutting water isolation valve services. If you'd like to learn more, you may find more information at our virtual booth. Dedicated local support worldwide. We appreciate your business with Flowserve and know how crucial our equipment is to meet your production goals. We would like to know, no matter where you are, we have a location near you to support your service needs. To support you in our global presence of decoking staff are ready to help. Our key contacts within our hydraulic decoking team are Bhavna Parvathareddy, who's our global product engineer based in California. Frank Pena is our global decoking tactical product support, who's also based out of California. My counterpart for the northern half of North America is Jim Balanza. Myself, Brian Berardi, handle southern half of North America. Alexis Rojo is a sales specialist manager that covers Latin America. Mike Becker is our decoking engineering specialist based out of Germany and covers Europe, Africa, and Russia. Yoshiro Wakai is responsible for our Asia Pacific region. And to follow up, we have Ganesa Balaje, who is a decoking service engineer supporting India. We welcome you to stop by our virtual booth to get the contact details for the local Flowserve support area in your region. We'd like to thank you for your time for this brief presentation and look forward to answering your questions at the Q&A or hitting the submit an inquiry button at our virtual booth. Thank you and have a safe day.